Hey guys, what is up? Brendan here, aka Brenbo, and today we're going to do a video which did successfully well. I don't know if that's how you would say it, but very well on the Audi TT. So I'm hoping it'll turn out that way on the Jeep. I know it's not a performance vehicle or sports vehicle, but I think it's going to be cool just for people to enjoy and be entertained by this. So as you guys can tell already from the title, I'm going to be making the Jeep Wrangler louder because right now it sounds like a weed whacker. No joke. It's the 4-cylinder 2.5 liter and it sounds terrible. Like I've said in my last video, I've had a Jeep before this that sounded terrible too, but since this is a project Jeep, it's time to make this thing sound good. I'm not making this thing sound loud like my Audi, I just want to make it sound deeper and more aggressive to be an off-road monster. So I have two packages, I'm going to unbox both of them and then explain like I always do what it is and what they're going to do for me. So I'm in my Jeep seat that I took out. It's just a nice handy chair. You can just sit in whenever you want. So I'm just going to unbox this. So as you can see, I have two boxes. One is from MBRP and the other one is from Flowmaster. The MBRP is a catback exhaust system that I hope is going to make it sound pretty good. I looked up YouTube videos on this and apparently it makes it sound really, really nice, but not too over aggressive or drony. So that's going to be pretty cool. And like I said, catback. And the rest, and the other box is a Flowmaster catalytic converter, and then it's piping to go to the exhaust manifold. And I'll explain why I got this, because for you car enthusiasts or automotive enthusiasts, you're gonna be like, why the heck did you buy a stock catalytic converter with piping that is stock diameter? First, let me unbox this MBRP catback exhaust. So let me do some explaining really quick. You guys might think, what are you doing, Brendan? You did a straight pipe on your TT, just full out, going illegal. Why are you buying restrictions and going legal on this Jeep? Well, this is not a sports car. This is a Jeep. I'm just trying to make it sound good, kind of like the 6-cylinder version, and not like a weed whacker 4-cylinder version. And just to give it a little bit of aggressive tone so you know that some work has been done to this. I'm not trying to just scream down the road and just show off my car to try to get attention, because no one really wants to see like a super loud Jeep. Like, you're not trying to show this thing off. You're just trying to like drive around. You're just driving around a off-road vehicle on the road that may look very appealing to some people. So you're not trying to just be super aggressive and like, look at me with this exhaust. I'm just trying to make it sound good, or to be embarrassed when revving it at light or just revving it out in gears and just with my friends. So it's just gonna help it a little bit. But as you guys saw, this is the muffler. It says MBRP. I'm not gonna take it off. I'm gonna keep this muffler just to keep emissions down so it doesn't smell terrible when you're behind it, because my Audi smells really bad when you're behind it down the road because it's a straight pipe, that's all it is. And this connects to the muffler and the tip goes on one of these sides. I'm not sure which side. And in this box, I'm just assuming, I ever read it, is the tip. On my TT, the tip came welded on the muffler, but apparently it's just a slip on this. But like on my TT, I'm not doing this myself just for the reason I hate exhaust leaks and I don't want that to happen, so I'm just having it professionally done so I have no problems with this. And I don't have to keep going under this thing and fixing exhaust leaks, finding gaskets that fix it and get through all those problems. It's only like an hour job for them to do it professionally, and it's super cheap, so I might as well just do it. And I don't think an exhaust install would be that entertaining unless you're TJ Hunt. You can make everything entertaining. But I'm just gonna get this professionally done. I'll show you guys me going there and everything like that. But I'll show you guys a before and after clip also, don't worry about that. But I'm having this done professionally just because I hate exhaust leaks and all those problems. But I'll open this exhaust tip to show you guys because it's pretty sweet. So this is it. It says MBRP on the side. I would say it's a 2.5, maybe a 3-inch, almost as big as mine on my car. I would say a 2.5. And it's shiny, so it stands out. You can polish it, make it look really nice. But I'll show you where this goes instead of the factory one, which makes this like stand out, and you can really tell that this is aftermarket when you install this. So right behind the rear lights is the exhaust. It just points down. It looks crazy bad, and as you can tell, it's like probably like a 1-inch, I don't even know. It's super small. It looks very bad. Looks like just a normal exhaust, I guess. But the new one is gonna come from here and stick out the side. It's gonna be kind of like under this bumper a little bit. So it's gonna stick out the side a little bit, and you will see it for sure because it'll be like that chrome material, and it'll stick out the side, and it won't be covered under the bumper because it'll stick out behind the rear wheel a little bit. But before I open the catalytic converter, I want to explain why I got that. So when we got the Jeep, the check engine light was on, and we didn't know why. So we asked the guy when we got it, why is the check engine light on? Because you always ask that, why not? The guy said there was a sensor messed up inside of it, but we didn't know which sensor. We had no idea what this sensor was affecting, we just knew it was a sensor. So we noticed a couple drives that the gas mileage on this thing was terrible. I mean, terrible. Like, you would go 30 minutes away from your house, come back, and that would waste half your tank. That's how bad. It's a 4-cylinder too, so it should get pretty good gas mileage, and our one before this one was a 4-cylinder, and it got good gas mileage too, so we were like, what the heck is going on? I was behind my dad, which was driving home just to make sure everything was okay. I was behind him, and I also was shooting black smoke out. Obviously, it's not a diesel, so I was like, this is not right. So what I concluded was it's running rich, and that's why it's terrible on gas, because it's just dumping so much gas into the engine and shooting black smoke out, which is a sign of it being rich. So this sensor is telling it to put more gas in, even though it's not supposed to, and that's why it's bad, because it's not supposed to be doing that. So we're gonna get the sensor repaired at this muffler place and have them to put the muffler on. So that's the reason I'm not doing this myself. It's because we need the sensor done. So if I'm already there getting the sensor done, I might as well get the muffler and exhaust on. So it just makes sense, I guess. But after the sensor's put on, everything should be going smooth, and the idle should be a lot better too, because at idle this thing's a little rough, and that's just from the richness. Like, it's running really, really rich. Like, when you start up the car, black soot shoots out. Even when you rev the car, black soot comes out. It's always shooting black smoke and soot all over the ground. You can't get it off the ground. It's a big mess. So this is a priority of this Jeep. And just so you don't waste tons and tons of gas going everywhere. Like I said, this should be getting pretty good gas mileage. I'm pretty sure even when I show the exhaust clips of me revving this, before the exhaust is put on, it'll shoot black smoke or soot out of it. I'm guaranteeing it almost. That's how much it does it. And that's why the whole muffler is black, and that's why we're replacing the cat and stuff, because I'm pretty sure even if it didn't have this problem, the cat's worn out since it's 20 years old plus, and all the piping has to be just covered with this soot, and it's probably pretty nasty. So we decided just to get the whole system, except the exhaust manifold, and just make sure everything's just not clogged and just nice to go. Since we're just doing exhaust anyway, might as well do the whole thing. But now I'm just going to show you guys me unboxing this catalytic converter. Nothing special, I just want to show you guys so you know what it looks like. If you want to do this to yours, if you just want to make sure the system's nice and clean and not clogged. Okay, let's unbox this catalytic converter with the piping. I don't even know what you would call it, with piping. I'm just saying with piping because there's piping connected to the catalytic converter. That's why I'm calling it that. I guess you could call it mid pipe if you wanted, but that's not what they call it in the description of this. So I'm just calling it a catalytic pipe. So I have no idea how this exhaust setup works or how it's shaped. I'm just going to show you all the pipe. And then the catalytic converter with the hangers already on it. So I have no idea, like I said, where this stuff goes. I could probably figure it out if I looked under the Jeep. But I'm going to basically have this whole setup put on with the cap back, with the new catalytic, so I know everything's up with emissions, even though it doesn't matter in Michigan. And that's why I have my Audi straight piped, because they don't have emission testing or whatever you want to call it. So it doesn't matter, but I'm still doing it just so it smells good and doesn't stink up your garage like my Audi does. So just in case you lads were wondering, this costed very cheap actually, considering it's a full exhaust basically, except the headers, which is basically like on my car. Unlike my Audi TT, which was about $1,200, this is way cheaper. And like I said in previous videos I made a long time ago, I think it's just the fact that this is a Jeep and not an Audi brand. I don't know, everything Audi's expensive. It's kind of a ripoff, but this whole catback system, tips, everything muffler, piping, that was $250, which is crazy because this is stainless steel, so it's not like it's cheap materials. MBRP, very, very known brand. If you guys haven't heard of them, they're known. Just letting you guys know. Tip advice, I have that on my snowmobile actually. It sounds crazy. It sounds like an F1 car. I might show you guys that later on. I might vlog snowmobiling. I don't know, I'm getting off topic. But it's a very common brand, kind of like Flowmaster, MagnaFlow, Borla. It's up there, just let you guys know. So, got that, $250. And then, this catalytic converter with piping was $180. So basically, you're looking at $430, which is pretty cheap for a full exhaust system, considering you have a catalytic converter, which are usually pretty expensive. So I think it's a pretty good price for what you're getting, especially it's all quality stuff. So I think this is going to be perfect. I have a catback, which will make it a little bit louder, and then also the catalytic, which will give it emissions, and then just make sure there's nothing clogged in there, which I'm basically positive the catalytic's clogged and the piping just has soot everywhere, and it would still shoot black smoke out just because it's getting rid of it in the piping if I just put this catalytic on. And I'm sure it'll still shoot out black smoke or remaining soot that's in the piping even when I fix the sensor just from the air pushing it out. So I just want to get everything nice and clean. Like I said, I said this like 100 times, but I know someone's going to ask, why are you doing this? It's not even for performance. What are you doing? So I'm going to catch up with you guys tomorrow. I'll be heading to the muffler shop, and I'll be showing you guys a before and after clip also. So stay tuned to the end of the video for that, and I will see you guys later. So right now I'm waiting for the exhaust to be done. It's going to take about 2.5 hours, they said, so I'm just going to head back there after it's done. But as you guys saw in that exhaust clip, I revved it to... This is what happened. This is a huge pile of black soot. Just to compare, this is my shoe. That's how much it shoots out. So every time I'm at a light and taking off or passing someone or just gassing it to speed up, it's shooting this black smoke all the time. It's kind of like a diesel rolling coal. It's just terrible for the car. And it must smell very bad for the person behind me, and you smell it inside the car for sure. So everyone's always like, what's that smell? Is there something wrong with your engine? So it's kind of embarrassing also. So this is a very, very big problem I need to get resolved. So this is the last problem I have that needs to get resolved immediately before I go into the big mods, like I said. But right now, when you guys see me again, I'll have the new exhaust, and I'll show you the clip of before and after, and just what it looks like on the Jeep, because it's supposed to look pretty sick, and it's supposed to enhance the appearance a little bit. You guys will see it right now. Before I show this exhaust clip, just to let you know, the microphone on this camera is super sensitive, so I always have to talk really quiet when I vlog and stuff. So for exhaust, it makes it really loud and obnoxious. So when I did my car, I was super surprised because you can't even hear like the true tone of it because this microphone is so sensitive. So I think that's what's going to happen for this exhaust. It's going to make it sound really, really loud and obnoxious when it's really not, just because this microphone. So just a little heads up. But here you go, the MBRP catback exhaust. So that's a Jeep for you guys. It's pretty loud. It doesn't sound that loud when you're inside the car, but when you're outside, it does. Because when I first got it on, I was like kind of disappointed. But then my dad drove it, and I could really hear it. You can hear it all the way down the road. It's pretty sick. If you're wondering why the fender flares off, you'll just have to wait and see for the next video. But that will do it for today's video. Here's just a close-up of the exhaust. Like I said, you can't really see much, but it goes deep down in there. The shiny MBRP exhaust. You can see it right there, but then it just cuts off by a cover. I know you guys love exhaust videos because everyone's obsessed with exhaust noises and how your car sounds. So I thought this would be a pretty unique video to make. So as always, I'll see you guys in the next Jeep video, and I'll surprise you guys in the future, so stay tuned. And if you haven't already, browse the channel, find some Audi TT videos and Jeep videos. But see you next time. Peace.